Pittsburg, Kansas can be summarized by three things: 20,000 people, an economy reliant on the local college, and the never-ending shuffle of its citizens. Being a college town, one could say that the younger crowds make the town what it is today. One could also argue that it's the heart and soul of the Southeast Regular that gives the town its uniqueness. But in the heart of Pittsburgh lies a place where stories are poured as freely as their drinks. Nestled between the college dives and bustling grills, there's a spot that often goes unnoticed, a place deserving of recognition. That place is known as TJ Leland's. The building's roots began in the early 1900s as the Hotel Leland. A bustling hotel, it hosted a lunch parlor, many rooms for traveling patrons, and was said to be a great place for writers.
Hi, I'm Terry, and this is John, the TJ and TJ Leland's, and we've been open since 2012.
This place actually didn't so much get remodeled and turned into a bar as it did it more evolved and went into a bar. And the front part was Leland's, the Leland Hotel. This was actually a restaurant. So it kind of cycled all the way back in all these years, and it's been everything from shoe stores to hair salons, lawyer's office,
Hookah lounge.
Yes. Also, it was an antique store, and every time somebody did something, it was almost like it was getting ready for the next thing.
I manage the place, I make it run smoothly, and John builds the place.
Thing is, that's putting it lightly. She actually is, what I always tell everybody is, she is the solid rock so that I can spread my wings. She's the one that makes sure that everything is here, the people are in place, the bands are in place, all of that type of stuff. My job's easy. I just get to have my head in the clouds and just kind of do what I want, and then, unclog the toilets when they're bad and stuff. But as far as the remodel of the entire place, it didn't so much get remodeled as it just kind of evolved, but every single thing in this place has a story. Just like the people that walk in the door always has that story, every single thing. The table that we're sitting at right now has a story. I can tell you that the legs came from a porch down on Broadway, and the top came from a barn I tore down in Parsons. The sign, which came from all these different places, but it was also the backdrop at our wedding. The bar back, the bar, everything in here we built, and it all has a history to it. The bar and the bar back was used woods from the Masonic Lodge that was next door. They tore it down. I went in there and to the auction and grabbed a bunch of the stuff, and then was able to give them another life.
Step inside TJ's on any given night, and you'll encounter a fusion of regulars, new faces, and those who give the bar its special charm. The diversity of the regulars reflects the tapestry of the college community itself. People of all ages frequent the bar, giving it a special vibe that some of the other bars in Pitt do not accomplish. While some bars target the younger crowds, TJ does its own thing. It doesn't heavily rely on flashy gimmicks or heavily tries to upsell on liquor. They keep it real, which is why the regulars have continued to come back after all these years. Anytime I was at the bar, there were at least one or two regulars that I would have the opportunity to hear about their day, and more importantly about their past. All of these people are retired, so it's inspiring to hear these folk talk about their heydays.
It's a little cubbyhole that fits perfectly where it is. It's a very eclectic mix of people. And you know about the music and you know about the other events going on here. It's cramped, it's cozy. And so that's what makes it different than the other places. That kind of is a connecting tissue that you're not going to have people continue to come back to a place if they don't feel a connection and a comfort zone that goes way beyond being able to get a nice beer pulled. You can get that anywhere, but it's a fun place. It's a comfortable place. You come into TJ Leland's, and it's like slipping into a comfortable pair of shoes, and you're here.
I think this bar has a little bit of everything, especially for its size. There's TVs if you want to watch sports games. There's this room for the band if you want to come watch a live performance. There's plenty of seating for parties. Whatever you want in a bar, it probably has it here.
It's got a sense of age to it, a sense of history. The way John has fixed the place up and really took an old building from the early 20th century and kept it in that mode. Well, I think this is a place for conversation, and that's that's the important thing of a public house is as they say in Ireland, the crack, the C-R-A-I-C, the crack, the conversation is the important thing, and you're talking to people who share similar values and don't, and you can disagree in a friendly fashion and say, well, I take this point of view. Well, that's fine,
Pittsburgh's kind of an interesting town because you got small town southeast Kansas and then the college. So there's an interesting mix of people, and there's just a certain dynamic because there's your traditional college bars, and then there's like the sports bars, and this place is just, I don't know, it's like an oasis of culture is probably a good way to say it. It's just, I don't know, it's neat. I've actually made several pretty close friends over the years here that I still keep up with. It is. I don't want to say it's like a second home to me, although there have been periods in my life where I've probably spent way too much time here. But it's you come in, just kind of blow off steam and relax, kind of that, I call it the decompression zone between work and home. And it's just nice. Have a beer with some friends and just kind of talk about whatever, be it meaningless or meaningful, and then go on your way. It's nice. It's like someone will walk in and like the whole bar will like turn their heads and be like, "Hey, welcome to TJ's," and it's kind of like that the old TV show from the '80s, Cheers, where it's like everybody knows your name. It used to be for a while. I mean, I'd walk through the door and they go Norm and stuff like that. But it is different. It's more feels like a family, I guess, is probably a good way to say that.
I don't want to be cliche, but that idea of having like the bar that is Cheers is very important to me. You come in here, I know the people who are with me here. Your bartenders are ready for you. They know what your drinks are, and to me, it's like there's a lot of places you can go and just sit down and have a drink. There are a lot of bars in town. It's a college town, right? We have a very young population here. So there are a lot of bars that cater very much to that. Then we have the bars that are also restaurants, and that's great. People love to eat and drink at the same time. But that is a very, niche, like genre restaurant bar situation. Here, it's a bar. It's like the classic old-fashioned, we got signs all over the walls. We've got like beautiful hardwood bar tops in there. All of this kind of stuff, like it fits a role that not many of the other places in town can really match, especially for somebody like me who's a little older and doesn't need maybe all the energy of the youths around us. The group of people who come here come from, of course, a wide spectrum of backgrounds, experiences, discussions. You can come in here on one night and there'll be a table of old gentlemen, talking politics, talking business, anything and everything when they're around. It's very welcoming to like the LGBTQ community and all of that, which means those folks feel safe coming here. TJ's, anybody and everybody comes in here. And there's a balance across all of that. And it really makes for good storytelling between all of those groups and to get exposure to things that maybe you wouldn't get otherwise.
So another photo that we have on the shelf is of what we call the Knights of the Round Table.
The Knights of the Round Table are a support group made up of old friends who are retired that look forward to hanging out on Wednesdays. I did get to speak with the Knights of the Round Table, but they declined to be interviewed for my film.
When we opened in 2012, we had a group of older gentlemen come in every day. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and they would sit at the very large round table in the bar and discuss numerous things, good, bad, and different. But they have been there since day one. They have sat through when our heater was broken and it was very, very cold in here. They have sat through when our air conditioner was broken and it was very, very hot in here, but they have come in on their days every time. And we don't always agree in our conversations, but they are incredibly sweet men, and we're very thankful for them.
I always tell everybody you could probably learn more from them sitting at that table, hanging out, talking to them than you could any college class. 'Cause there's so much wealth of information and everything like that. And they get loud and argue with each other, and they're all still friends. You know, they're absolutely a joy to be around. Stuff. And every time I walk in, they're always, hey John. You know, they're always, all of them. They're just absolutely great.
We offer a lot of different types of events at our bar. We do open mic nights, karaoke nights. We do a lot of live music here, all genres of music. It doesn't matter. You can book an event here, absolutely. And I think that brings out a variety in the people that come to our bar as well, because there's something for everybody that happens here at some point during the week.
I know that before COVID, that was before I worked here, but they used to do a lot of events and different things. And after COVID, I know that we're working on implementing some other stuff like on the weekdays and weekends to try to bring in a bigger crowd, because there's people that are interested in doing stuff, but when you don't have events, it kind of makes it difficult to bring in people. So.
Bands and artists of all genres have called TJ Leland's home. And if you're local, you've probably played at TJ's. Vagabond Grove, Sunset Circle, Riverside Current, you name it, they've performed here. And if you're there during a show, you could bet that the performance hall side will be popping with a crowd of people. Besides TJ's, there are not a ton of places that host live shows. And with the nearly extinct house show scene in the area, places like TJ's are important to keep the scene alive and thriving. Another cool thing about the bar is that almost all of their concerts are exclusively free of charge. Not a lot of places can say that and still provide a great experience to go with it. I got to sit down and talk music with one of these local bands, the Cosmic Bean.
My name's Cody Sanders. I play guitar and do vocals in the Cosmic Bean.
Mason Vanderpool.
Joseph Beechner. I'm the bassist for the Cosmic Bean.
My name is Matthias. I play drums for the Cosmic Bean.
I started coming here to do the open mic nights and stuff, and then just gradually started doing like acoustic performances here, and then me and Matthias decided to start the Cosmic Bean project, and this was like the first place I thought of.
I think the reason why I love this bar so much dates back to its opening and the kind of what it stood for in the beginning and what it still stands for now, which is kind of an open home for musicians. Since the creation of the band about 2 years ago, I've been basically their honorary fourth member. I would always fill in for Matthias or Joe if they couldn't make it to a show. We primarily play kind of a weird mix of pop punk and Midwest emo stuff, and it's starting to get heavier these days.
So we started the band, I want to say 3 years ago, and Cody and I have been roommates for a really long time. Cody's the lead guitar player and singer. And so he always did this acoustic singer, songwriter stuff that's really folky. His mom wanted to get him a birthday gift, and she was like, I want to get him this really expensive mandolin. It was like $800. And Cody and I did a lot of jamming, and we had talked about like wanting to start a band, but he doesn't have, all he has is an acoustic guitar and some like acoustic instruments. And so I was like, no. Miss Amundsen, this is what you need to get Cody for his birthday. We're gonna get him an electric guitar and an amp. And that's how we started the Cosmic Bean. This is, a birthday gift from his mom.
So I remember coming here for shows with friends' bands, 10 years ago and things like that. And they were, as I said before, they're always very welcoming to people, and they like to encourage new acts and things to come through. In comparison to other bars in the area, they are open-minded to it. They like to see things change. They're also just a lot of fun. They always have something going on, be it an open mic night or costume party come Halloween or anything else going on. The place, it just has different vibe as opposed to other small town bars where everyone just seems very cliquish. The thing, you can't really reach into a different area or anything else. Or if you don't quite fit into the area of a small town, it might not be something that does. This place is open to everybody. And anyone's welcome to come in here, make friends with anybody you see, and just start a conversation.
The Cosmic Bean is from a short story I had wrote. So after I went to college for the first year, I got out and I was kind of like aimless. So I went and I traveled around in a van, and I kind of like slept in there and just went from like national park to national park and did a lot of day labor jobs to make money. And so I met a lot of like people that do that sort of stuff. And I met this, like a lot of like vagrants and homeless people. So it kind of like inspired me to write a story. And so I was doing all this, I wrote a short story, and it was about basically this girl that lived underneath this bridge with her dog. And that's Interstellar is the girl, and the Cosmic Bean, or just Bean, is her dog. And so that's kind of how we came up with the name Interstellar, and the Cosmic Bean was kind of about the inspirations from that story. And you can still see the space shake in a lot of our logo and imagery still. This place is super special. So people go out and smoke cigarettes. They're literally right outside this window over here that you can see the stage at. When you're over at the bar, you'll often see people crowded right around there where the doorway is, because even when you're at the bar, you just hear the music and you just want to be a part of it. But it really provides a smaller atmosphere. So whenever you have people that come and see you at the show, it's so intimate because you're literally right up there with them. If you want people to be able to stand up here, you got to scoot tables back. It's a very, very particular atmosphere that you can't get at a lot of bigger venues. If you want to be able to sit there and pack a place, you can get people shoulder to shoulder in here, and it's just the vibes and energy is perfect for shows.
We have such a fantastic group of regular people that come in here, and we went to a wedding not too long ago, and I was looking around at the guests, and our ex-bartender, the groom, I'm looking at his friends and family, and a huge majority of that was customers from the bar. And I was just like, how amazing is it that they all found their way here, and they're friends, and probably friends for life. We have a couple that come in here, and they literally call one of our ex-bartenders their son. And so it's just very close-knit here, and I greatly appreciate that. And I love them. They're friends. They're not just customers, they're all friends.
I felt comfortable here the first time I came in. I kept coming back. I brought friends here. I continue to feel comfortable here, and I think that's the secret to it. It's a rather mellow place, and John and Terry have worked very hard to keep this place. This is effort. This is not. Oh, just got a bar. Oh, okay. No, it's not a 30-minute sitcom on TV. They're here working this, and I watch them hustle with the help and get the kegs in and get things fixed and and it's an effort, and I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the people. So everything I've said is, I feel that.
I used to work here. I worked here for I think about 2 years. One time I worked a Sunday where I had to work a wedding party. It was like a wedding reception, and the girl that's now my partner crashed that wedding. And we've been together ever since. She came here that first night, and I was like, that girl's pretty. I've got to go talk to her. But I never got up the courage. And then it was 2-3 months later, she came back in, and I started talking to her. And then the third time she came in, I talked to her a little bit more, and that's how it all started.
I really, really like working here. I've always had to work some sort of a second job, and it's typically been some sort of a bartending job. That's always, this is a great place to work. Everybody that comes in here is cool here. No matter what your background is, where you came from, if you're a college student, if you're an old guy, it doesn't really make a difference in this bar, and I really like that. And I love working here. Like, I have to work a second job, so I might as well love my second job, and I'm really glad I work here. So that makes me happy. And this job keeps me a little bit young. It just does. Like, I kind of complain that I'm out till 2 o'clock on a Wednesday night and I have to work at 8 o'clock the next morning, but it's not really a complaint. Like, I'm hanging out, usually listening to some cool live music or doing karaoke or interviewing for some cool movie that's gonna happen. You know, it's a fun place to work. So yeah, I love working here. And I think it's a good asset for Pittsburgh, because no matter where or who or what your background is, we're not a college bar, we're not a sports bar, we're an everything bar. You can come in here and sit or color or play a game or watch TV or hear live music and be cool. And that's why I like it here.
One of our regulars is always like, happy birthday. He cracks me up, he really does. And that's kind of like the one thing I took away from here when I first started working, is just kind of like the fun, like family atmosphere.
Whenever I walk into this bar and I see all my friends and everybody's, hey Cody, how you been? You know, and you get everybody's hugging. I love it. You really feel like you belong here.
I didn't know hardly anybody from Pittsburgh before I started performing and hanging out here more, and then like now, like people would consider me a regular or one of the people that come here, and it's kind of entices you to come back. You come here and make friends, and then like you only really see them while you're here, so that's who you come back. That's where you go. Like, are you going to TJ's tonight? Yeah. I mean, I don't think there would really be anywhere that regularly host local bands or just like smaller touring bands or regional bands that want to come through. Especially since the casino came out, like this downtown used to be way more hopping before the casino, because like not everybody would just go there on the weekends. Like I feel like it's really split now, like 50-50 versus 100% of the people came downtown. So if downtown Pittsburgh lost TJ's, that'd be an even bigger group of people that don't come to the downtown to hang out anymore. There won't be regular shows here or places to like do karaoke or hang out. There are other bars, but they don't really cater to the same population of people that want to hang out.
To think that aside from the general atmosphere here, this bar provides so much for the general population when it comes to just something to do here. This is a small town, and I mean, every weekend there is something going on.
It allows for a certain feeling of freedom. You don't have to fit into a group. You can just be yourself and be here doing whatever you want to do. No pressure attached, no nothing else. Just come in, sit down, have a drink. And they do good on that part too.
While I produced this documentary, I figured I would learn a lot, meet a lot of new people, and make some new friends. But I've come out with a whole lot more than that. I have learned a new perspective. It's not the college or the locals, or having an ice-cold beer after a long day, or watching a Cosmic Bean concert, but it's the places like TJ's that make Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. So many different people are nested here, from the history of the Balkans coming here, to the fact that young adults from all around the world call this place home while pursuing their education. These places connect us, give us belonging, give us an escape. John and Terry hope the TJ's train will continue to ride and give us escape for many more years to come. And after talking with John, he has lots of ambitious plans for the future. I will not spoil the fun here, but let's just say, John is busy cooking up something exciting. So having a place to leave your problems at the door is beneficial for the human soul. And for those who have their special place already, fantastic. Don't ever let go of it. Savor it for as long as you can. And for those who don't, I highly recommend finding one. If you need help finding one, I might be able to help. I know a place. It goes by the name of TJ Leland's.
I just wanna go somewhere that I can grow, be my own man. Think I might be losing my mind here. Oh, I just don't belong. I'm doing everything wrong that I can.